Hello, everyone. This is your vocational expert, Chad Middleton, here in Columbia, South Carolina. And we're going live to see if there are any people that have any questions about our TDIU webinar that's going to take place on January the 28th at 6 p.m. Okay. A lot of people have many questions about what it is we do, how it is we help. So I wanted to go live tonight before it got too late to find out if there are any questions about the services that we provide. Okay. Vocational evaluation is an art. It's a skill that is learned in my rehabilitation counseling program. Also, I'm certified as a rehabilitation counselor. And a part of working as a rehabilitation counselor is learning and understanding medical terminology, different types of ailments, disabilities, and their impact on a person's ability to do certain activities. Okay? Every job requires some level of physical or mental exertion. But as a vocational expert, what I understand is disability. And disability means that there are problems that you have performing certain activities. Okay. So when you have a disability, let's say you have a lumbar strain, and with the lumbar strain, you have limitations that affect your ability to do certain things, such as bending. Okay. Bending. Now, maybe your job doesn't require bending. All right. But those people that work in jobs that require bending, if you have lumbar strain may impact your ability to do that job. Case in point, an automotive mechanic. Okay. An automotive mechanic lifts up to 50 pounds frequently on a job, 25 pounds frequently, 50 pounds occasionally, something like that. But they do a lot of bending, squatting, lifting, stooping, crouching, those types of activities. So if I looked at someone as an automotive mechanic that has a disability of lumbar strain, they're going to have problems performing jobs as a automotive mechanic. Now, having lumbar strain doesn't mean that you can't do any work. It just means that you're probably going to have problems performing the job as an automotive mechanic. Okay. So when you have many disabilities, when you have many limitations, those limitations affect your ability to do certain jobs. What a vocational expert does is a vocational expert looks at your limitations and starts to deduce the numbers and availability of certain jobs so that uh, we can identify certain jobs that you can perform. Okay. But our webinar is going to talk about the vocational evaluation process. How does disability affect your ability to do certain types of jobs? And what is the benefit of a vocational evaluation report in your claim for disability, either with Social Security or with the Department of Veterans Affairs? Okay. This piece of evidence is definitely essential if you're filing for any type of disability, suggesting that you're not able to work. Because if a vocational expert determines that there are no jobs that you can perform based on the limitations that are listed in your service connected disability or in your medical documentation, you can use that information to file for Social Security as well as VA TDIU benefits. Okay, so VA TDIU vocational evaluations work hand in hand to help you get the benefits that you need. But a lot of veterans are not understanding what does TDIU mean. It simply means you're not able to work because of your service connected disabilities. Other things has nothing to do with it, are irrelevant. The availability of jobs, your age, your education, those things in regards to the VA are irrelevant. Only thing that matters with VA TDIU claims is how much your service connected disabilities affect your ability to work. I am a vocational expert, which means that I am a work expert, certified nationally. So if you provide us with documented uh, medical records, DBQs, disability benefits questionnaires for those that might be listening or not understanding what DBQs are, disability benefits questionnaires, information from your treatment professionals about your limitations. If you have that type of documentation and we review that documentation and we determine that because of your limitations, there are no jobs that you can possibly perform, then you can use that information to help support your TDIU claim. What I'm noticing, and I'm throwing in a little bit of information, is mental health significantly affects your ability to perform work. All right. Physically, I might look fine. All right. I might be, buff. I might be cut. I might look like I can run 100 miles per hour. But what's not seen is mental health and how it affects you. Okay. So if you have a mental health disability, depression, generalized anxiety, bipolar disorder, PTSD, regardless of how physically, capable you are able to do any type of physically strenuous activity, if you have significant mental health limitations, your mental health limitations alone can rule out any work at any capacity. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Your mental health limitations can significantly reduce the amount of jobs that you can perform in the national economy. Your mental health alone. Okay. So if you have mental health limitations as well as physical limitations, if you combine the two, there are many jobs that may be eliminated because of the severity of your conditions. Okay. So disability cannot be judged just by the physical. Your mental health also is significant in determining what you're capable of doing and what you're not. Case in point, an example. If you have major depression and your major depression causes you to have poor motivation, difficulty working around people, mood swings, anxiety, um, chronic sleep impairment, difficulty in working in stressful work environments. Those limitations, if they're severe, can affect all jobs in the national economy. Okay. Jobs are considered stressful if you have uh, quotas to meet, if you have to be to work on time, if you're working in close proximity of other people. Those limitations are significant. And if a job requires for you to work around people, but your disability suggests that I can't work around people, then we have to eliminate that job. Okay. So if your disabilities, your mental health disability is so severe, it alone can rule out every job in the national economy. Every job. But you have to have documentation to support it. Without the documentation, it's just your word about your limitations. Okay. So if you come to a vocational evaluation and you're participating in a TDIU webinar and you start to send us vocational assessment documentation, and your documentation mentions nothing about your limitations. It says nothing about your treatment. You're not taking any medication. You're not participating in weekly counseling or therapy sessions. Then it's very hard for me to say, as a vocational expert, you really have a problem. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. So the medical records for a vocational expert is very important. The medical records substantiate the problems you say you're having with your disabilities. I have veterans telling me, like, Chad, I have hard time getting up in the morning. I can't stand being around people. I'm having road rage. I have panic attacks whenever I'm stressed out. I don't like getting along with folk. I don't like being around people in general. I miss days from work because of my PTSD. That's very severe. Now, from that initial consultation, when I look at the assessment or the medical documentation, what you're saying you're having problems with does not line up with your medical documentation or your disability rating. Okay. Now, if you have a disability rating of 50, 70%, then I'm sure somewhere in your medical documentation, you can show how they determined that your rating was 50 or 70%. I can use that when doing your TDIU vocational evaluation report. So I wanted to talk to you briefly about how the vocational evaluation report works, but more so, talk to you about a TDIU webinar that we're having on January the 28th at 6 p.m. Okay. Um, the webinar is $75. You'll be there in a group consultation type form where you're asking questions, you're getting your questions answered. You can ask about many different perspectives pertaining to your claim for TDIU. And this is what we provide. This type of documentation is the documentation you need for your claim for Social Security or VA TDIU benefits. Okay. I'm Chad. I'm a vocational expert. I thought I'd go live. I didn't know if a lot of people get on YouTube at this time of night, but this is something that we're promoting for the month of January. We're having a TDIU webinar. Okay, so if you're a veteran, you have a disability, you're working, you're thinking about quitting, you're thinking about retiring, or you're not working, haven't worked in quite some time, you have a disability, you have a disability rating that qualifies you for TDIU benefits, you might want to consider joining us for our webinar because these benefits can mean the difference between you being 70% or 100%, 80% or 100%, 90% or 100%. And those of you that know about how the VA ratings work, 100% is a whole lot better than 90%. Okay? Because once they label you P and T and you're getting 100% disability benefits, with those benefits comes a lot of other benefits, right? No taxes on the house, no taxes on your cars. If they retroactive your date of getting 100%, they go back in South Carolina, they'll go back and refund you the money that you paid on your house or your cars based on the date that you were initially awarded. Kids get to go to college for free, state colleges for free. So there are benefits in this. Only thing you have to do is consider coming to the TDIU webinar and sharing some information about about your circumstances. Talk about what the TDIU process looks like for you, and that way put in your claim. And I always say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Okay. So if you're listening to me, no matter where you are in the United States, just feel free to contact our office, 803-563-5087. Call us up, leave a message on the voicemail because right now it's about 9:27 p.m. So you can call our office and you can leave a message and say, hey, I want to register for this TDIU webinar. Okay. The phone number again is 803-563-5087. All right. Call us up, leave a message on the voicemail, say your name, give us your phone number, and let us know that you're interested in attending the TDIU webinar. Or you can email us admin, ADMIN, at vcandvc.com. Admin at vcandvc.com, or just check us out on the internet, on the web, vcandvc.com. You can go and check us out, check our website out, recognize what it is we do, sign up for the webinar, call the office and talk to my assistant or talk to me. And if you have any questions, we'll feel free to try to answer any questions you have. But I am trying to assist people with getting that 100% PNT. Okay. You serve, you deserve. But a lot of times what I'm noticing is a lot of vets get turned down because they really don't know nothing about how the process works. So you can use me to understand how the process works, but more importantly, how does the process work for you? I can tell you how the VA is going to turn you down. I can tell you why the VA turns you down. Okay. But what you want is someone who's skilled. We've done hundreds of vocational evaluation reports. We've helped many veterans. And this is a little known secret that with that vocational evaluation report from a licensed certified vocational evaluator, me, with this report, if we determine that there's no jobs that you can perform because of your disabilities, it's very likely you're going to get your TDIU benefits. Now, if I can't help you, if there's not enough information for me to make that determination, I'm a vocational expert. I'm not going to charge you for a report that's not going to benefit you. Absolutely not. I'm not going to do it. Okay. So we're not a pay for hire type, say whatever you want type of service. I'm a professional. I'm licensed. I'm certified. And in order for me to help you, you have to meet certain criteria. And if you meet that criteria, this evidence that I provide you, I wish I had a report in front of me. Do I? Let's see. No, I don't. These are medical records. The report that we provide will be your evidence, signed, sealed, and delivered by vocational expert Chadrick Middleton. You use that information to help support your TDIU claim. All right. I've worked for over 10 years with the VA, helping veterans get their benefits. And in this capacity where I am now, I can work for you. All right. But you got to go through our process. You have to go through the process. And first step is participating in our webinar on January the 28th, 6 p.m. All right. Typically, our initial consultations are $150. Our initial consultations are $150 one-on-one in a virtual setting like this. But for you, if you participate in our webinar, you only have to pay $75. You give me the same information, you still get your questions answered, and you're expediting the process instead of waiting for an appointment. Now, the appointments are good. All right. It's very worthwhile if you want an individual one-on-one appointment. But in this capacity, as we're doing the webinar, you can actually sit in a session with other veterans, listen to questions, ask your own questions, and understand how the process works, and then how the process works for you. Okay? So I encourage you to participate in our webinar. It's on January the 28th at 6 p.m. It's $75. Call our office up. You pay either through the website or through Square. And you'll get a receipt. We'll send you the link to join in the session. And also, we'll ask you to complete a consultation form, giving us some background information. What's your disabilities? What's your disability rating? What are you rated for? What kind of education do you have? Are you currently working? When was the last time you worked? What are some of the duties you had when you was working? Okay, that's the type of information we're needing in order to do a vocational evaluation. So you don't have to bring anything, but you do have to fill out our initial consultation request form. After that form, hopefully, if you're eligible for our services, You will then start gathering your documentation, your award letters, your DBQs, uh, your medical documentation from the VA, any employer information about when was the last time you worked, your resume. These are things that we need to help fortify your claim for TDIU benefits. Okay. So hopefully, if you have any questions, I want to go live and answer any questions that you may have. Oh, Michael says I'm interested. Waiting on my letter now. Waiting on your letter. Oh, you applied already. Maybe you applied already, Trey, and you're waiting to determine. Oh, Trey, you might be waiting on your vocational evaluation report. Are you a current client, Trey? I don't have your whole. Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. Very good. Very good. You're waiting on your letter. And Trey, I wish you can help us. I wish you can come on and tell others about the process so far. All right. You went through the vocational evaluation consultation. You've provided us with the medical documentation, which is great. We determined that we can help you. Now, only thing you're waiting for is the completion of the report. We give you 45 days from the time you pay for your report to actually submit a report to you. Once you get that report, it's your responsibility to take it and add it to your claim for TDIU benefits. Now, Trey, I don't know if you applied for TDIU already or if you are going to wait once you get your report. Either way, I need you to make sure that the VA acknowledges receipt of that report. What I'm hearing in some of my sessions is that when they go to get their CMP exam, oh, very good, very good. When you go to get your CMP exam, a lot of times the examiner knows nothing about the report, knows nothing. And I found out recently from a vet that, oh, and this is going to be great. I'm going to do a TDIU. I'm going to do a YouTube video about this. There's one veteran who submitted a report after we completed a report, and he was denied. He was denied. Called me up and said, Chad, I was denied. And I was like, send me that denial letter. Sent me the denial letter, and they made no reference to the report. Told him, I said, man, that's strange. I don't know what's happening, but you need to file an appeal. Filed an appeal last year and just got awarded benefits all the way back to the date of 2023, 30,000, 40,000, I don't know, dollars in back pay, all because they misclassified the report when he turned it in. So Trey, oh, very good. Very good. I appreciate you, Trey. Thank you. Please note that when you file your report, make sure that the VA acknowledges it. Okay. They need to acknowledge receipt of it. And it's going to be very difficult for the VA to say you can work when a vocational expert says, based on the medical evidence, this veteran will not be able to find a job. Okay. Not just find a job, but find a job and maintain a job. Okay. So if you're interested in the webinar, we're having a webinar on January 28th. We're going to talk just like this. I'm going to entertain questions. You get to piggyback on a lot of my experience writing these reports. I write each and every report individually. Okay. So it's not some cookie cutter, just give you some report, 1-2 page report. No, these reports are actually about the process of identifying jobs, the process of understanding your limitations, reciting what these doctors have said about your limitations. This information is so very useful and critical in your determination, your vocational evaluation report, because I listed in the report, and the VA has to recognize that I'm not just talking about what I believe the veterans' disabilities are, but actually what these disabilities are. Okay. Actually what these limitations are and how they affect the person's ability to work. All right. I wanted to come in quickly, but I started talking, and I get real passionate about my job and what it is I do. I didn't plan on staying here 24, 25 minutes, but I appreciate your attention. I want you to consider coming to our webinar. I want you to consider getting your claim ready, go ahead and put in an intent to file. Okay. You have a year from the time that you put in an intent to file to actually file, right? That's money. That's money. Because if you intend to file today, you file in July, they make a decision in December, they're going to backdate it all the way back to January 22nd. That's money. That's money. All right. Valuable information I just provided you, and I ain't charge you a dime for it. All right. So thank y'all for just coming by, checking out this live broadcast. I want to share some stuff with y'all, and I want to encourage you to participate in our webinar on January the 28th at 6 p.m. All right. Go to the website, contact the office, email us, sign up, pay your $75, secure your seat, ask your questions, and we're going to have a real good time in trying to answer whatever problems or whatever questions that you may have about the process. Okay. Trey, if I file for an increase for mental health at 70, which would be IU. If you file for an increase for mental health, so your mental health is not currently 50, must be. And you're saying if you file for, okay, so what you may be doing, Trey, with the report, they may bump you up to 70%. I've seen this happen before too. Well, oh, it is 70. If I file for an increase for mental health at 70, which would be IU. Yeah. Well, no. That's not actually correct. If you file for an increase for mental health, the next rating up above 70% is 100%. 100% is not IU. 100% is a straight up 100%. You still can go to work with a 100% rating. Okay. So if you file for an increase in your 70%, and you're saying that I feel like my disabilities are worse than 70%, yeah, they will bump you up to 100%, and you're still free to work without any stipulations. So that is what we call a straight up 100% rating. IU is you're less than 100%, but they're paying you at the 100% because you can't work. Does that make sense? All right. So you're not actually filing for an increase in your mental health. You're saying my rating right now is 70%. I can't work, so I need to be paid at the 100% rate. That's what TDIU is. Okay. But if you wanted to file an increase for your mental health alone, okay, I was trying to piggyback off of my last claim. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right. I got you. Well, if you're trying to get 100%, and I wanted to make the distinction that 100% rating and TDIU, the compensation is the same. But the stipulation on TDIU is you can't work. I know people right now that work for the VA that are 100% disabled. They're actually working, getting a salary, and they're getting 100% disability, and they're getting retirement. All right. That's the triple dip. Okay. But if you're doing TDIU, you're saying that I can't work because of my service connected disabilities. The VA awards TDIU, pays you at the 100% rate, P&T. The only stipulation is you can't work. All right. Now, I always tell my younger veterans that's 20 and 30 years old, when they get TDIU, I say it's going to be a challenge for you to live off of this money for the rest of your life at 30 years old. All right. But when you get 50, 60, 70 years old and you got retirement from whatever job, you're getting Social Security, but you're rated 70%, you want that 70% rating to be 100%. And the easiest way to do that is file for TDIU. Okay. So there's some experience that I have with helping so many veterans that I think many of you that's watching this video, that will benefit from. All right. Do you lose special monthly compensation when you get off of TDIU and get 100%? Do you lose Special monthly compensation. No, no, I don't think so. When you get off TDIU and get, no, you don't lose it. You're still 100%. TDIU just simply means you can't work. That's it. You're still 100% P and T. All right. So if you have special monthly compensation, you shouldn't lose special monthly compensation when you become 100% disabled. Does that make sense? You're welcome, Trey. You're welcome. Anytime. Looking forward to getting you to look at that report when we finish it too. Okay. Um, so no, lyrical adventures, limitless landscapes, whatever your name is. You shouldn't lose it if you have it. All right. A lot of veterans are afraid of losing benefits. Okay. Specifically homebound. No, I don't think you lose that. I don't think you lose that. A lot of veterans that I talk to are afraid to file for TDIU because they feel like they're going to lose benefits. Now, I have seen people that have their ratings decrease for whatever reason, right? They go in at 80%. The VA, after they file for TDIU, drops them to 70%, but grants the TDIU, right? Oh, and I got to tell y'all about this experience that I have. All right. I had a vet I did a report for. He was 70, 80. I think he was 90%. He was 90% disabled. And we did the report. We did the report, and he turned the report in and had to do a CMP exam. He goes into the CMP examiner and tells the CMP examiner that he's currently working. All right. Actually selling houses. I think he's working in real estate or something like that. And not only did the CMP examiner note it in the CMP exam, they decreased this rating from 90% to like 70%. He lost it. And after he lost his benefits, he came back to me. Whoa. After he lost his benefits, he came back to me and wanted me to do another report saying that he couldn't do real estate. Well, I can't do that. Now my credibility is being shot. You told me you wasn't working, but when you got into a CMP exam, you actually said that you're selling houses. So now, based on your word, they're going to deny you based on that. Okay, so you got to be very careful. And in my webinars and in my consultations, I tried to tell veterans about the CMP exam. Not that I'm trying to coach them, but definitely you don't want to go in there and shoot yourself in the foot. Okay, talk yourself out of the benefit. So by having a vocational expert that is used to hearing and listening to the stories of many vets, you can use that information also as you're applying for your benefits. Okay. So thank y'all once again for checking me out this live. I didn't intend them being here this long, but I'm so passionate about what it is I do. I'm a vocational expert. I'm not a VA expert. I'm not a Social Security expert. I'm a vocational expert that learns and understands how disabilities affect your ability to work. Okay. I understand it because I've been trained in it and I've been working in this capacity over 20 years. You get to use this information, my knowledge, my word, my expertise in helping you get 100% disability. All right. I want to help you. Yeah, I want to help you. But in order to help, you need to participate in my webinar on January the 28th at 6 p.m. All right, Eastern Standard Time. No matter where you are, we're going to send you a link and you're going to participate in this webinar. And then you're going to start getting me your medical documentation, your award letters, DBQs, your resume. You're going to give me this information so that I can help you for a letter. Okay, Michael, good answer. All right, if you go to our website, it pretty much tells you about our process. It's a 3-step process. Okay, first is an initial consultation. A consultation is an hour-long, one-on-one, where we're talking just like I'm doing therapy. All right, I'm a licensed professional counselor. So for an individual session, you'll pay for $150 for an individual session. All right, consultation, $150. No report. All right, I'm not doing a report. I'm just doing a consultation, getting some basic information from you. If you have what it takes in that basic consultation to move to my next step, is a vocational assessment. An assessment is me reviewing all of your medical records, all of your award letters, all your DBQs, all your work history, all the information that you have to present to me for 1 hour. Remember that 1 hour, like you did in the consultation, was $150. All right. So you'll pay me for the second step, which is a vocational assessment, $150. If we have everything that we need to do a report, meaning that from the consultation, from the assessment, I have enough information to pretty much rule out all jobs in the national economy. I'm willing to do a report for you. And if I'm willing to do a report, and if I'm capable of doing a report based on the information you provide, you're paying $1,000 for that report. It's numbers, there's hours that goes into that report, there's writing that goes into that report, and it's about 45 days I will get the report to you. So a total, not all at one time, a total of $1,300 for the whole report. 1 month of TDIU benefits is over $3,000. All right. This process that you're going through is not me asking for any back pay or percentage of your payment. None of that. You're paying for a service and a time and the expertise that I have to complete the service. All right. Also, Michael, we have a payment plan. So if you get to stage 1, phase 2, and you want to do the letter and you want to work on a payment plan and you're not in a rush, we'll work with you. We'll work with you because we realize some people are in situations where they can't afford it. I get it. Totally get it. But if you want your report expedited, or if you have some special circumstances, then yes, there will be costs associated with that. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Hopefully that answers your questions. And like I said, the reports that I do traditionally come back approved for TDIU. And every veteran that calls me up and tell me they got the TDIU says the amount of money was minimal based on the result of the report and the benefit of being able to get $3,000+ in your account every month for the rest of your life. Okay. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. I think it's fair too. Plus, I'm writing these reports individually. All right. So having many reports to write is a good problem to have. But because I have a 45-day window, I'm writing, I'm collecting data, I'm looking at labor market information, I'm looking at disabilities, I'm comparing what's in your medical records, and I'm summarizing your report. 45 days later, you get the report, you review the report, you tell me whether you're approved with the report, you're approved the report or not. And once it's approved, we send it to you. Okay. I appreciate it. Definitely, Michael. Check us out at vcandvc.com. That's vision counseling and vocational consulting. I thought I had my hat on, but I didn't have my hat on. But vcandvc.com. Check us out on the web. Matter of fact, while you're on the web, go ahead and create another tab and go to it so you already have it open, just in case you was looking for our contact information. vcandvc.com. Open up a new tab and go ahead and have that so you don't have to worry about trying to remember or write down our contact information. My assistant's name is Megan. She will answer the phone. If she don't answer the phone, you leave a message and let her know you want to participate in the webinar. Even if you do the webinar, you want to do the report later, we'll deal with that. Just make sure you have a seat in the webinar before it fills up. Okay. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all very much for just checking us out. Like I said, I was just planning on doing a short video, but I'm glad I had questions. I enjoy doing what I do, and I'm passionate about it. I have a lot of information and experience and education that I think can help you in the process. Use that information, whether you utilize our services or not. You might be able to find you a vocational evaluator or expert in your area. If you can do that, that's fine. Somebody you can actually drive up, but there are not many of us, and there are not many of us that have the experience that I have. All right. So if you could get this done in your state, in your city, at your regional office, and you can get these benefits, great. All right. Great. I want you to get the benefits, but if you don't qualify and if we can't help you, then I won't be able to help you. I had a veteran that I saw the other day. I just couldn't help. All right. He was actually working. He was thinking about stop working. And I said, long as you're working, bro, I can't help you. He says, well, I'm only working a certain amount of hours per week. So it doesn't matter. If you're working, how can I say you can't work? Well, isn't there a stipulation that, you only, if you're not making but so much money, still. See, if you're working, you're working. That don't matter how much money you're making. You're working. Now, if you get TDIU and decide to go back to work, then you can challenge the VA saying, well, I'm only making $100 a week. Now you can keep your benefits. But if you don't have TDIU and you're working and you're trying to use your income to prove you need it, that's not going to happen. I'm in South Carolina, Michael. I'm in South Carolina. All right. So there are some veterans I just can't help. I talk to a lot of veterans each week. I do a lot of initial consultations, and we don't help everybody we do consultations for. That's why you're paying for time and expertise to talk to me to determine whether or not this is going to be beneficial. If it's not, I still give you some good information on what is needed in order to get there. All right. So you still get your money's worth. Still. All right. Dropping free game on y'all tonight. All right. In this live broadcast. All right. This is free game for y'all. But anyway, benefit from this experience, vocational expert experience. I work with the Social Security Administration today. Okay. I work for them right now as a contractor, a vocational expert. You get the benefit from that too. All right. So it's not some gimmick. It's not some business that's trying to take your money. It's not some get rich quick type of scheme that's going to guarantee you something. Nope. I can't guarantee you anything. I cannot. 90. Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Yeah. And you unemployed? Yeah. Michael, yeah, listen. With those types of numbers, you should be filing for TDIU. You should be, especially if you're not working and you haven't worked because of your disabilities. Now, some people, if they're aged, they might say, well, I'm retired. Well, it doesn't matter why you stop working. It doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, because of your disabilities, can you go to work today? Well, Chad, I don't want to go to work today. That ain't the point. Can you go to work? Come on, man. Come on, Michael. Man, if you don't need the money, just send it to me. All right. If you don't need 100%, just find another charitable cause. Maybe we can be the charity. All right. So if you're not working since 2018, you're 90%. You probably have just overlooked or haven't heard of TDIU. And I get it. But my job is to educate you. All right. And unfortunately, they're not going to go back to 2018. They're only going to go to the day in which you originally filed your claim. And they award your benefits effective that day. So if you haven't did an intent to file yet, Michael, go ahead and do an intent to file. Whether you come with me tomorrow or later on down the road, hopefully, but within the next year, you'll put in a claim for TDIU and they'll backdate it all the way back to January 22nd. That's money. That's free game right there, Michael. I ain't even charging you for that. All right, that's good, Michael. Go ahead and do that intent to file. Either participate in the webinar or set up a one-on-one with me. Now, my one-on-one schedule, I might not have another appointment available until February, sometime in February. All right. But if you want to get in sooner and you want to go ahead and get in that webinar, you get in that webinar. Remind me who you are if you get in that webinar. Let me know, you listen to me in this live broadcast. But join that webinar and then start getting ready to collect all of the information that you're going to need. And I'll tell you about that a little bit later. Okay. So definitely, it's so many people out here walking the streets that's 90% and just satisfied with it. I ain't got no problem. You good with 90%? I'm good with 90%. I don't have no issues with you. All right. You like it. I love it. But if you're trying to get 100% and know with that 100%, there are so many other benefits that you can get that you're not getting, then all I ask you to do is consider it. Okay. That's all I ask you to do is consider these benefits and these services to help you get it. Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody need that 100%. Okay. Michael, are you on Social Security? If you don't mind me asking, are you getting Social Security disability or Social Security retirement? Nope. All right. I don't know if you're 100. Listen. Okay, another little tidbit, and I know I done went over my limit, and I shouldn't be giving y'all this free game. A lot of the judges that work for Social Security that I've worked with are former veterans, and they take under consideration your TDIU claim and your TDIU benefit. Now, it doesn't mean that it's automatic. All right. I'm just not going to say because you get TDIU that they're going to grant you Social Security. But your claim for TDIU being awarded is and can be used as evidence to help support your Social Security disability claim. Free game, free game. I'm just giving y'all a little bit more education about the whole situation. All right. So anyway, that's enough. That's enough. I done been on here too long. But anyway, hopefully you'll participate. I'm supposed to do a little short little nugget just to encourage you to participate in the webinar. But y'all got a brand new webinar tonight, pretty much. But contact us, get in for the webinar, and then we'll start the process of a vocational evaluation report. All right. Oh, very good. 55 is great. That's the age where Social Security is right there. 55 is considered advanced retirement age. That's what 55 is. Advanced retirement age. Okay. So you can use that to your benefit, and the fact that you haven't worked since 2018. Yeah, you can get both. You can get both. But anyway, talk to me at that webinar or set up an individual session. Call the office and let us know how you want to proceed, Michael, and anybody else that have joined in for our session. All right. God bless y'all. Have a good night. Sleep well. And I look forward to seeing y'all at the webinar on January the 28th.